Oh, hey, I didn't realize you guys were there. Sorry. I was just scrolling through InstaSnap to see what I'm missing out on today. This is Z, and today we're going to talk about Zilosophy on anxiety. Anxiety is a huge thing in our world today, and these devices aren't helping at all. So, kids out there, when you're feeling anxious, one of the first things I want to tell you is put down your phone and go do something else. Anything else without a screen for a little while, that will help. Sorry to lead with the punchline, but I think that that's really important. I think that pretty much everyone in this world has anxiety these days. Z ain't no dang doctor, and he makes no medical claims for his dang Zilosophy musings. That's right, Cowboy Rick. I'm not a doctor, right? So I don't know that everybody has anxiety, but I'm a pretty observant person. I've dealt with anxiety my whole life. I hate to sound like one of those old guys, but when I was a boy, we didn't talk about anxiety. I just went to high school not knowing why I was nervous and uncomfortable all the time. And I had no idea what it was. Now there's a great conversation about anxiety and everybody's aware about it. But what can we do about it? Well, there's a lot of things, right? There's a lot of layers to this. There's social anxiety when you're around other people, and how do you feel comfortable, and how do you force your way past that to just have fun and be in the moment. A lot of dealing with anxiety does come back to that, being in the moment and being present, being aware of what's actually happening and what you're making up in your head. There's also the anxiety of what's going to happen with that test or that date or that meeting next week, or the anxiety of that thing that I said to that person in the meeting or the date or the test a little while ago. And both of those things are not staying in the present moment. You're thinking about the future, you're thinking about the past, and you're creating anxiety in the present. So, a lot of what it's about is just staying present. And the practice of presence, really, the easiest way to do that is to just stop, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Sometimes it's really that simple. Sometimes it's a lot more complicated than that, and you should see a therapist or a professional that can help you if you have severe anxiety. But like I said, all of us, I think, have a little bit of anxiety. So, what are the things that we can do to practice to ease those things? There's meditation, there's yoga, there's any sort of meditative activity. When I was a kid, I used to shoot basketball and shoot hoops for hours and not think about anything but just putting the ball through the hole. And that really helped me deal with my anxiety. Everybody's different. People ask me all the time, hey, Z, you wrote this book, Zilosophy on Golf. How many strokes is it going to take off my golf game? Well, I don't know. I don't know what you're working on, and I don't know how hard you're going to work on it. So that's not really up to me. That's up to you. And in this context, dealing with anxiety, I can't tell you what to do with your anxiety because, as I've talked about, we're all different. We all have different things and different triggers that cause us our anxiety. So you really have to look inward to where your anxiety comes from and figure out how to best address the anxiety that you feel and that you experience. But I can say that all of us need to look for things and activities that take us out of those anxious moments. Again, for me, it's paddleboarding, it's yoga, it's going for a hike, it's going to play golf sometimes by myself, so I'm not talking to anybody and I'm just listening to the birds and hearing the wind in the trees. That really helps me with my anxiety. I don't know what's going to help you, but there's something out there that can, and you need to look for it and take responsibility that you can help yourself. And again, I do want to say that there are cases of severe anxiety where you should see a doctor, you should see a therapist, and you should listen to them and consider if there's a medical treatment. Or again, I have friends that have kids go to meditation coaches. That's a really good thing, and I know that that seems weird to a lot of us who grew up in a time where that wasn't a thing, but now it is. We need to deal with the world that we live in, not the world we once lived in. And the world we live in now is one that's filled with tons of anxiety, and we should work together and support each other to find ways to help calm those anxious moments. So I hope the biggest thing you get out of this video is that you're not alone dealing with anxiety. Most, if not all of us, are dealing with it. So let's remember that we're in this together and that we can help each other. And the one piece of advice on an activity that I will say to everybody is put down your phone, your tablet, whatever. When we're comparing ourselves to other people or wondering what we're missing out on, we're causing ourselves incredible anxiety and taking ourselves out of the moment that we're actually in and the one that we're living. Stay present in the moment that you're living as you're living it. Those other ones will happen when they happen. And the more that you're present, the less anxious you'll be. I hope this helps. We'll talk to you soon.